You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Cultober.
Yay!
That was loud. I scared you with it. I scared me with it.
How did you... Never mind. I'm not going to ask.
So, today we are reviewing Casper. I guess we should let you know who's here. I'm Bailey.
I'm Michael.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Eursa.
It worked. Look, because he can't see you.
What are you talking about?
knows.
There's like a 2-minute Mexican standoff where we're just like, no.
It's going to get
I
cut
know.
out.
I always, when I edit these things, I always debate, it's like, how much of that pause should I leave in?
All of it.
Leave all of
All
it
of
this
it.
time.
Just give them enough time to wonder if there's a tumbleweed that's going to drift by.
I'm just going to start adding the whistle.
Absolutely. There's going to be one time the only thing that's going to fit is the Jeopardy thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we have one long enough for that, I have to, right?
Yeah, I mean,
People are
that's
just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, and then we'll just pray to the copyright gods that makes it through.
Yeah.
We'll force it through. No lube.
Ouch. Don't
Oh.
you laugh. Don't you
Ouch.
cry.
So
Bite
we
that
are
pillow I'm going
here
in
for
dry.
Casper. You guys just came off of, I know I just said this already, Mouth of Madness.
That was fun.
How was that? Was
That
it
was
fun?
It was. I love that movie.
And then we had the Cult of Lord,
The Demonculaba. Thank you. I'm sure you all are suitably traumatized.
Traumatized. I don't.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
What are you doing to your listeners?
So like we actually debated putting that one back off for a couple of years, but it's like, nah, I mean, it's bad. It's horrific.
Oh, wow. And before that, they had Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Wow.
That
Wow.
was a mixed bag.
That
Mixed
was
bag. Man,
Definitely mixed bag.
the longer I think about that movie, the stuff with the clowns was good. Everything else was garbage.
Yeah.
Ursa, you wasn't on Killer Clowns. I know you've seen Killer Clowns, right?
No, I have not.
Bitch. How have you not watched Killer Clowns
How
from Outer
have I
Space?
seen a movie
I
that
think-
you haven't, Urs?
I think Butters tried to talk me into watching it one day, or maybe we started watching it and I'm just too high. I was just too high to remember. I don't know.
How do you explain that movie, Ben? It's like it's one of those things like you gotta appreciate it because it's iconic or something. How do you explain that?
It's not a good movie, but you definitely have to appreciate the fan base that it's built up. And like I said, so it's like, aliens the title says it all. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's exactly what they are. They made a small town. The stuff with the clowns is nice and creepy. And the music is good. There's a certain part in the movie, I won't say what it is, but the production got a little bit higher than I thought they would reach in it. So I was, pleasantly surprised there. But everything that are just the regular village actors, they're all idiots. None of them can enact. The script treated them like they were all related to one another. It was a complete garbage fest for the exception of the clowns. I was rooting for them.
So
the
you
whole
can
time.
hear Ben go on for that an hour and a half on the episode of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But today we are here for Casper.
Yeah.
So Ben, tell us a little bit about Casper and then all the working parts.
So Casper, so this is actually the first live adaptation of Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was also one of the first movies to have a completely CGI main character. It came out on May 26, 1995, was directed by Brad Sibling.
Sibling. Yeah, I read his name over and over again.
Yeah. It's got an L where it shouldn't and an R just to fuck it up even more. Anybody want to guess what the budget on this thing was?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I didn't even think to cheat and look at the budget. Damn it.
Yeah.
I know they ran out of money if they cut scenes because of it.
They did.
25.
I'll give it 40. I'll
40
give it
mil.
40.
I'll do 42.
All right. Bailey wins by the 2. The budget was $55 million.
Woo!
Anybody
She
want to guess what it
cheated.
brought in though?
90.
Oh my God. $1 billion.
No.
You're out of your fucking mind. The first $1 billion movie was Avengers.
Oh.
I'll give you 90 mil.
Ursa?
I'll say 150.
287.9.
Oh, God.
Wow, damn.
Yeah. That was a happy day for them. But
I
I mean,
suck
you
at
can
this.
tell they treated this movie like it was an event
Gold.
for
yes.
a children's movie. They pulled out a lot of stops in them.
I remember when this came out, it was pretty big. It was pretty huge.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Huge.
Do you remember it was back when they were doing the glass mugs at Burger King?
Oh my God.
They did Batman Forever, and then I think Casper was right after that.
And then they realized giving glass to children is like dangerous and expensive.
I still
So
have.
they
a
were
f-
collector's items. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't like passed out, man.
I
still have a few of those.
We don't have the ones from Burger King, but we have the McDonald's Disney ones. My dad does at least. So, or at least I hope he does.
I used to have the Jurassic Park ones. They were really
oh,
cool.
that's fucking cool.
We
I
had
don't
some
collect-
Batman Forever ones when I was a kid. I think.
Oh,
I still have I still have the Two-Face one. It's at my mom's. But
I probably had him, but I didn't lay any importance.
It's really I'll tell you what, that Two-Face one is uncomfortable as shit because the handle is the coins, and so the edge of the handle has the grooves of the coin, and it's just uncomfortable to hold.
It's not about comfort though; it's about the aesthetic.
It's
style over comfort. Okay.
Substance over style.
That's why you wear the high heels, Ben.
Yes.
You the hoe, not me.
So who's our starring cast? Did you say that already?
We got Christina Ricci as Kat, of course. Bill Pullman as Dr. James Harvey. We've got Devin Sawa, who is the human Casper. We have Malky Pearson, who is the voice of Casper, who was, I believe, the voice of Casper for quite a while. Catherine Moriarty, who plays Kerrigan. Eric Idle, who plays Paul Dibbs the Cuck.
The Cuck.
And then a whole boatload of cameos.
Did you mean Carrington?
No.
For Carrie Iden?
No, Carrington is Kathy Moriarty.
Oh, okay.
Eric Idle is Paul Dibbs the Cuck.
Okay.
Yeah, keep up, Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Can you keep your cuck straight?
I'll try.
Anyway.
Anyway, anything else we'd like to cover? I always got lists. I like to bring the list of things. So do we want to discuss anything else before I take you on the journey of a list?
So yes.
Real quick, let's give a shout out to Joel Alaski, who is Stinky. We have Joel Nipto, who is Stretch. And the only one I believe to ever really carry on after that, Brad Garrett as Fatso from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
So there's your uncles. Carry on.
Carrying on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still trying to...
Who directed The Crow? Oh, do your thing, Bailey.
I'm just still trying to figure out how they made Casper so transparent, all the way throughout the house and whatnot, and how he was able to carry the cups and the glasses and everything. Because
you never heard of a thing called movie magic? God,
I need more clarification than that. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you this: when you do go to look for it, there's all shit ton of behind the scenes footage you can find on Casper.
Oh yeah, This was a well documented thing because it was an event.
Fabulous.
Yeah, because even for the most part, lead characters Putman and Ricci, they were talking to tennis balls most of the fucking time.
Yeah. That's what Ben and Eric had said while we were watching this.
Wouldn't you do maybe just a morph suit, I imagine, for carrying?
That's what
I didn't find any documentation about a morph suit.
Yeah, no morph.
That's what was interesting.
Thing.
I don't think there was. I think it was just a tennis ball, and then everything they manipulate is CGI, and they just put it in.
Yeah, I don't know, because it was very expensive for that time. Anyway, to my list, the more interesting thing, Bailey, not the CGI of 95.
Okay, fine. Me and my
rhyme?
technical nerdiness.
Am I spitting bars right now? Guys, I'm quitting and becoming a rapper.
No, you're not.
Who directed The Crow? What's his name? Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
Alex Proas?
Okay.
Proas? Yeah, he was originally attached to the Casper. Whoa. He was going to be the director of it originally.
Oh, that would have been a far different Casper.
Yeah, he eventually separated because of creative differences. It's going direction he didn't like.
Don't say.
Ben already said Casper's first film to have a completely computer-generated character in the lead role, which is why it got expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
This is also the first time they touched Casper's backstory.
Yes, they actually created it for this, which I have somewhat questions about, but we can get there later.
Sure.
The original comics never get yet. We're talking about that now. The backstory. Yeah, because he died of pneumonia when he was a young boy due to cold weather, leaving his inventor father devastated.
He died when he was 12.
Yeah, so I'll bring this up just since the list brought us there. I thought he didn't die of pneumonia because it was very subtle. I was hoping good dialogue writing is what I was hoping for. But it was he begged his dad for the sled, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And his dad told him no. And then he's like, well, then one day for no good reason, dad bought me the sled. And I thought that just that line in itself said something's wrong with Casper. Let me give him the sled so he can enjoy it before he fucking dies.
Oh, he's got cancer or something.
That was when I heard that line, I was like,
really good.
Yeah, that's where my mind went. I didn't think because I knew he goes on to go on I got sick and dad got sad, was out there for hours.
Yeah,
you'll get pneumonia.
Completely recut. That would be a complete dialogue shift.
Right. So it's I thought just that line in itself, I didn't think he got sick because of the cold. I thought he was already sick and his dad let him stay out there for hours because he's going to fucking die anyway.
Yeah,
a leukemia.
Yeah, you got cancer. Just go out there and get it, kid.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I thought. Because it was because at this point it was 100 years ago is basically how it goes when between where this movie's taking place and when he died and his dad. It was 100 years ago. So he's been in that house for a while. So I thought, so they couldn't cure leukemia or anything. So that's why I thought that was something that I kind of thought. I was like, that line right there makes it like, no, it wasn't pneumonia or anything. It was something else. And his dad's letting him enjoy life real quick. That's what I thought.
That makes a lot of sense to me now that you mentioned that. And then he does go on to say that like his dad always told him that, and I'm quoting it loosely, that for some reason it's like he wouldn't know how to write it or something like that. Which I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming too much, but that speaks to like fragility.
I think you guys are digging way too much into it, and this is coming from the Dakota lore guy. I think they very clearly state his dad got in the sled, and because he must have begged for it because he wanted it, and his dad said he couldn't have it, and then because he felt so bad, he let him stay out and play, and he got sick.
What if his
mother?
parents
don't give your kids what they want. That's the message here.
What if his mother guilted him into it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they died from having fun. Yeah, that's right.
Don't have too much fun, kids.
Well, yeah, too much fun can be a problem. Yes, that is a good lesson for kids to learn.
So speaking of kids, Pullman, he took this role just for one reason, is that he wanted his kids to be on set with him. They were just at that age where they appreciate all the movie magic going on.
Aww.
How cute is that, Pullman?
Well, I mean, God bless him because it didn't. He didn't slacken his performance at all.
No.
He
he's
probably
performing for his kids in a way. Then at that point,
actually, it does make some like the sword fighting with the plunger and stuff. That does.
Which I think it's in this. Yeah, I think it's in this list later. That's one of his hardest scenes. He said he's ever had to do.
Well, yeah,
because he was fighting air.
Yeah.
That would be difficult.
He was good at it though. God damn. And
it looked wonderful.
Bill, he's such a good underrated actor. I love him in everything except for Independence Day Resurgence, and that was not his fault.
I didn't even bother trying to watch that.
Oh man.
Didn't he have like dementia or some shit in that movie?
I wish it was that simple. It was like he had alien dementia that got worse or better depending how close they got, and also depending on whether the script needed him to get worse or better when they got closer. I mean, that fucking
script crutch.
Oh my God, that movie was. They turned Jeff Goldblum's dad. Remember him from the first one, like the lovable dad that was just trying to help his son? Turned him into a money grubbing dick bag. Like, how do you even do that? It was impressively bad.
Life will find a way.
Oh, it did. It found a way to grab that character by his ankles and just bend him over like a bitch.
Right. Casper, voiced by child actor, you said his name earlier, Malachi Pearson.
Is it Malachi?
Sure. Malachi. I bet that's
probably Malachi. I'm not great with names.
Children of the Corn. There we go. Malachi.
Yeah, there you go. He auditioned 5 or 6 times before he was brought on for a final test. Like they really put him through it.
They wanted their Casper right. They were like,
he sounds like the old one. He does.
Well, that's a good reason to keep him around. I think it looks like they eventually just chose him because of his facial expressions were much like they wanted Casper to be when he was doing the lines. So
that's terrible.
Just something to work off of, really. I mean,
if they're computer generating it, you have to have something to base it off of.
Yeah, but you would think that the voice would be the deciding fact, would be more important.
Well, it's
out
probably
of this
everything. Like, and then that just happened to be like the
anyway
cherry on top.
I mean, I love his voice. I love his Casper voice. I mean, it's clearly younger than it is when he becomes a spoiler alert, really human.
Speaking of that, the original script ended differently, where you never got to see Casper as a human.
Aww.
Which means you didn't have Devon Sawa reveal.
I think I actually probably would have preferred that, given the choice.
Who do you think gave you the ending you have now?
I already know.
You know?
I do.
J.J. Abrams. You can thank him for the "Can I Keep You" scene.
There is. Leave it to him to be creepy. But listen, all I can say for this is even Hitler was a baby in a crib at one point.
Oh, I mean, I think comparing anyone to Hitler.
Nah.
But then again, you're not really comparing.
What he did to the Jews, JJ did the script writing.
What is that law? Like, if we're not debating, but if a debate goes on long enough, Hitler eventually gets brought up.
Yeah,
that's like a thing.
I'm just preemptively striking.
Ricci and Sawa were another movie together. Now and Then came out the same year. You ever seen that?
What is it?
Now and Then.
Nope.
With Rosie O'Donnell, it's like them as kids and then them as adults. It's like back and forth.
Does Christina
is
Christina Ricci like the kid version of Rosie O'Donnell?
I can't remember. I haven't seen it so long.
I remember that movie though.
Boy, that's a good movie. I like that movie.
That would be really rough.
Yeah, it came out the same year, and Sawa only got on there because of Richie suggesting that he should be on there.
Oh wow.
Well, that's fair.
That's nice.
because they worked on Casper together, which Sawa was intimidated by Christina Ricci because she had like I'm the boss kind of vibes.
Oh, I believe that.
And they eventually got over that. And she was already cast for Now and Then. And then she suggested that Sawa should be the love interest in Now and Then also along with her.
Well, that was nice. That was nice of her to recommend him.
Were they like a thing back then?
No, I read some stuff. It was like between Richie and whoever else was on set of Now and Then. I guess there was some kind of competition between them for his attention, but he didn't realize any of that. He was like 14, so no, they were never officially a couple or anything.
I'm like 37, and I would never realize any of that either.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
me neither, man. I don't. Yeah.
like you like me when you were 15? I didn't fucking know. Let's
yes,
see.
ladies, it really is that simple.
I mean, a lot of it is. Yeah.
Truly.
So here's the fun thing, because we talked about Mel Gibson and Clint Eastwood being in it.
Yeah.
In order to get them in there, Steven Spielberg had to talk to them.
He had a cameo that was ultimately cut.
Yes, but that's the only reason Mel Gibson and Clint Eastwood do it, because Spielberg told them that he was going to be in it also.
And then he ended up getting cut.
but he got cut because the director was just like, your acting wasn't as strong as the others, and Spielberg was relieved. He's like, yeah, I'm not confident in my acting ability is not what I am. So
yeah, but I mean, that's just another cameo in a good expanse of cameos. There was also the girl from Poltergeist was in a scene that was cut, I read. So that's another cameo.
They didn't even get her to film it. They had it written, but they didn't get her for it.
That would have been another cameo plan then. Like, gee whiz.
I wonder if the Crypt Keeper took place of Spielberg.
Well, one of the other reasons I read that he was cut was for pacing, so probably not.
Okay. Pullman once reviewed. Yeah, that's the scene where he's fighting the fucking ghosts. Do we know why they're called Harvey? The last name Harvey?
Weinstein?
No, you would think so, but no. Was it the production?
I mean,
studio?
it was 95, you know?
Yeah.
That's who did the original comics, Harvey Comics.
Yep, that's what it was. Harvey Comics. Harvey Comics was the original publisher of Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's what it was.
Yep.
I couldn't remember. I was like, his production.
Yeah, here it is. The other idea that was scrapped was the fun Poltergeist reference with Zelda.
Yeah.
Initially set to reprise her role from the classic 82. We pictured her shooting out of the chimney, screaming, "Go toward the light."
That would have been weird to see.
Her shot out of a chimney or
the whole thing.
Just every bit of it.
Every bit of it would have been and getting the reference would have made it even stranger, because they borderline tiptoed with The Exorcist, but actually, like, if they would have brought in like one of the actual priests from The Exorcist, that would have been a step too far. Actually putting her in there saying "go towards the light" would have been weird. Would have been weird.
This one, it's not necessarily related to Casper, but it's a fun thing. Spielberg almost cast Ricci, who was coming off her scene-stealing turn as Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family. He almost put her in Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow. That would have been different.
As a raptor?
No, she was going to be the girl kid.
The Dilophosaurus. She's going to sprill and shoot venom.
It was funny that at the beginning scene when they're talking about the house, he's like, yeah, isn't this a nice place? And she's like, yeah, if you're Stephen King. That is a missed opportunity for her to go, yeah, if you're the Addams Family. Like, it was missed.
It was missed. Swing and a miss.
It was a swing and a miss.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I get the Stephen King reference because of Maine, but yeah, if you were going to make that type of reference to the house, you definitely should have gone Addams Family.
Right. Next thing, there was a scene of Kat finding a photo of the ghostly trio in human form that was cut from the film.
I would have been interested to see that.
Oh, I would have wanted to see that.
That would have been interesting.
I wonder if they would have brought in people to actually like be, like they did with Casper, or whether they would have tried to like computer, because, it would have been an old photo. So maybe computer digitally make it to where they look more like their ghosts.
Yeah, I know when I was looking, you were able to, there's still like images that you can see of the picture of the trio together. So go look at that while I go on to the next thing. The Backstreet Boys filmed the music video at the Whipstaff. Everybody. Everybody.
Oh,
was that
my
really?
God.
Yeah, they filmed it there at that same place. Let's see. Because the studio only wanted to buy the rights to one of the original comic book characters to save money, plans for Wendy the Good Little Witch to be in the movie were scrapped.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't even know they really wanted to have her in this movie. Did you ever watch Casper Meets Wendy?
No, never really my bag.
It came out 3 years after. It had Hilary Duff in it.
Yes, I did.
I like that one. I thought
that
it was fun.
Was so good. Oh,
It
took
was
me a
better,
minute.
way better than the fucking Casper prequel movie they put out. Like, I was trying to watch that, see if it reminded me. I was like, I remember a little bit, but this looks horrible. Because they did do a sequel to this film also, but they just did an animation form. Because there was plans for a sequel. I've seen some where it says like Pullman and Ricci's like schedules just didn't line up, but also I seen something where it's Ricci was just like not confident what the film was turning out to be from the script. But there was a sequel planned, and they just didn't do it live action. They just did animated form.
Yeah, that's a shame. I think I would have enjoyed a second dip at this for everything that we get now.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you find the picture, Ben?
I did not. I've found some drawings and illustrations, but not like a photo.
Yeah, like Stretch has like a mustache or something, if that helps. It doesn't really help anything.
Is Fatso fat?
Fatso's fat.
Why did Casper keep his real name and then his uncles are like
Maybe that was their
Stretch
nickname.
Well,
and
I think that's
Fatso?
I think there are some kind of like trio, like an actual, like maybe like Three Stooges type, probably is what I imagine. There was some just kind of act and they just went by their act names. Because that's part of it. Because, you know, like when the dad dies and Kerrigan dies and they're in their ghost form and they have their clothes and everything and they're still human-like. I guess the idea is that over time, since those three have been dead for so long, you forget your past life and everything. And they probably also forget their past life, but you also lose some of your characteristics of your human self. So eventually the idea is like if you're dead long enough, you eventually look like those three, even a little less human-y and such.
Yeah, they were also
okay.
blue or Casper white.
Any good ghost was white, essentially, because even Harvey was white. Well, no, Kerrigan was white too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to
Has
do
something to do with something, right?
I think it has to do with whether or not you embrace kind of the ghost part of yourself. Oh, I see. I found it. It's a really
You found it.
it's a really-
Show Bailey.
it's a really bad photo. Fatso does not look like what I thought he would.
Let me see.
You can see our cameras, right? Can't you, Ursa?
Yeah.
Hold that up to the camera
wow.
too.
Yeah. Will you?
Steal it
I was gonna say.
Can
for
see
whatever
it?
you can see of that.
Oh yeah, they do look like a comedy act.
Yeah, that's what
it
I'm
kind
thinking.
of reminds me of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, that's what I think they're kind of trying to emulate, just a rougher
Or Laurel
version.
and Hardy, or that type of thing. I mean, but
last-
that's kind of the vibe you get from them anyway, right?
Right, yeah, just some kind of weird act where they just do quirky things, whatever. They beat up each other a little bit.
A little.
I think it's
just
A little?
just a little.
Like,
Just, I mean, it's a little in ghost terms.
I mean, they're more interested in terrorizing others than they are each other. So,
That's
I mean,
fair.
that's something.
And my one last fact, Sherry Stoner, who's a writer on this film, she also wrote for like Animaniacs.
Oh yeah,
and
there was a lot of
something
Animaniacs
Oh,
on
wow.
this.
and she was the reference model for both The Little Mermaid, Ariel, and Beauty and the Beast's Belle.
Huh. Well, good for
Wow,
her.
nice.
Good for
Yeah.
her.
Good for her. Ursa, take us to the next segment, why don't you? Good job, Ursa.
What would that be?
Bailey, you take us there. I don't know, Ben.
Nah, man. I'm not gonna try to pick up this damaged thing. You bring me in fresh, motherfucker.
I'm not your last resort, you bitch.
I am nobody's pitch hitter.
I don't have a pun. We need Eric here for a pun to get us to the next segment, but that's fine. Let's get spooky. Boo!
Hi.
We're back.
We are.
It's only proper to say boo when we come up, right?
It is? Are you sure?
I don't know. Ben, while you're talking, what was the first time you seen this film ever in your life?
Oh, this was in theaters, man. I'm with Ursa on this one. I remember when this was coming out. I remember when Burger King made it a big deal. I remember going with three of my friends. I believe they were Joe, Jamie, and Corey. And we all went to Burger King first, and then we went and saw the movie. I remember this.
All right, Ursa, follow that up
I think we rented it when it came out on video.
on VHS, you old
Yeah,
man.
I think it was just like at home type of thing.
Ty just bought one of those as a vintage antique, Ty. Or
Tyler just
first
antique tie.
Words are hard.
antique Ty. words, names, all of it's
Man,
very
you all
hard.
didn't hear her. Y'all didn't hear her in the bumper, but it just carried over into the live recording.
I'm sorry.
Bailey, when's the first time you watched this? So let's walk you there.
I actually think I was definitely really young. It was when we were still living in Georgia. So like below the age of 5. It was probably during one of our family movie nights, during Halloween.
Which is not a Halloween movie, actually, because it was released in May, right? Wouldn't make it a Halloween movie.
But they have a Halloween party in the movie.
As we have learned, that is not enough to make it a Halloween movie. Just because there's a Christmas party doesn't make it Christmas, right, Ben?
That's true.
They dress up in costumes and celebrate Halloween. No, I will not submit to that because the teacher even has Halloween decorations in his classroom.
No, so
decorations help make it a Halloween movie, huh?
No, it doesn't. Stop helping. So the reason why this is a Halloween movie and Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's because fuck the party. It's the pairing. Now, if John McClane was Santa Claus, all right, we got us a Christmas movie. Casper's a ghost.
Oh, geez. That's funny. That's too funny. I seen this I'm an old ass like Eursa too. I watched it on VHS when I was a kid. Who knows how old? I mean, it came out when? 94, 95? Was 95.
May of 95.
I was still 4 years old. It wasn't December yet.
Oh my God.
It matters.
It does matter. I know it matters.
You're upset that it matters, but it matters.
I'm not really upset at it.
Ben just doesn't like how time works. That's all.
Who does? You tell me the person that enjoys getting older that's over the age of 20.
Nope, don't have one. But I definitely watched it on VHS.
Although, just to clarify something real quick, I myself do not think of Casper as a Halloween movie myself. Because
it's just a nice
Casper is a character that's been in existence for a long time that wasn't tied to Halloween. He had Halloween episodes, but
yeah, because I think even like in the series of Casper, it really wasn't tied to Halloween anyway. It's always just he was traveling from person to person trying to make them love him.
Right.
And he eventually find one that did.
I don't know if making them love him is the proper way to describe that.
High key, Casper's a creep. I believe he was making them love him.
He was kind of, well, not even kind of, he was really creepy.
High key creep.
He's a kid. He's a 12-year-old kid. They would be creepy.
You can be a creepy kid.
Yeah, but they would just be inherently creepy if they could ignore walls. Like, I don't think he's... Kids have trouble with boundaries, even with physical material stopping them.
Listen, like he's 12 and he's like, "There's a girl in my bed,"
and then he
like,
fucking won't get. Yeah,
12 is enough to be like kind of into girls. I mean, that's not that
unusual. The creep turned himself into a pillow just so he could sniff her hair.
Especially when he died,
I don't think that's why. I don't think he turned into a pillow just to sniff her hair.
You can't. I'm pretty sure he did, and then he just got beat up. That's what he gets for being a creep. He got beat up like a pillow.
He got a dirty sock thrown in his mouth.
That's what you fucking get for being a creep.
That
he might be into that, you know?
Yeah, he might just found his new kink after 100 years with Christina Ricci. That creep. Where were we? I watched it when I was a kid. I was 4. Came out in May. Possibly Halloween movie, possibly not. Ben, take us through the film.
All right. So we open on Winthorpe Manor. It's this really creepy old house. We meet Cardigan, who is this really bitchy blonde lady, and she is at the reading of the will of her dead father.
Well, we do the kids first, don't we?
Oh, that's right. The kids. Yeah. Winthorpe Manor. Some kids break in. Casper. I'm not even going to, it's not a reveal. Casper is the main character of it's Casper, for God's sakes. But he shows up and scares them. They take a picture of their face. It's just a nod, hey, this is a Casper film.
Did you recognize either of those two kids?
One of them I did. He was in, but I don't.
Sandlot.
Oh. Which one?
He was in the Sandlot.
Yeah, he was the really tall. Was he the pit? He wasn't a pitcher. He had the glasses.
Yeah, he wore he was the one that faked drowning in the pool.
Squints. There it is.
Yeah, Squints.
Theodore Squints Polydorus, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Polydorus.
I looked up the other kid. I couldn't remember. There's things he was in, but I don't recognize you. Apparently he was in something. Not rememberable, whatever he was in. Right. But yeah, no big reveal. Casper, scare kids.
Right.
Picture.
Cardigan and her. Do we ever know what he actually is? Is he like her butler?
I was thinking, I would have swore that was her lawyer, but after watching it this most recent time, I have no fucking clue.
They do say they're
very
friends.
Close friends.
Like they're a platonic
very
friendship.
Close, personal friends.
Yeah, it's like,
so we meet
is he the dude that killed her dad or something?
No, he doesn't have that kind of sack on him. Are you kidding?
Killed him.
Yeah, I was just saying, if anybody murdered anybody.
What was his name in the film?
Cuck. So we meet Cardigan in the Cuck, and basically they're at the dad's wake where they're reading the will, and she doesn't get shit. He leaves all of his money to literally every type of like save the whatever he could. And then he left her Winthrop Manor. She goes there to...
Well, she was pissed.
Yeah, well...
She was mad.
Yeah. And so she goes there and discovers that it's haunted by not one, not two, but 4 ghosts. And that is Casper and his 3 ghostly uncles, the ghostly trio, who we find out's names are Stretch, Fatso, and Stinky. And they are by far the coolest characters in this movie.
Attorney and close associate. That's all
Close
it says.
associate.
But it was her attorney and at the end of the day.
Jesus, poor bastard.
Right. Like, for real, like, as much shit as she was putting him through, I'm like, dude, just leave.
She doesn't have any money. She's like desperate for it.
Well, there's still like a sense that she does have a lot of money through the film because she's just like fucking destroying and paying this whole
I
construction
guess that's
crew.
true. She's got construction crews.
95 and she's driving a fucking Range Rover.
Yeah, so I don't know where her money comes from because she must have got some from her dead dad.
All the dead husbands she has.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Ours is like, nope. As far as we're concerned, that's canon. She's a Black Widow. But
That's
anyway, she comes up against the ghostly trio, and so she's got to get them out. They found that there's supposedly treasure. That is their big thing. Is she throws the whole file of the house into a fire, and it lights a hidden treasure rhyme, basically, that implies that there's gold at Winthrop.
Yeah,
Manor.
Whipstaff treasure hold some
Whipstaff.
shit.
I keep calling it Winthrop.
Whipstaff.
Whipstaff.
It looks like it's spelled like whisper with a
Whistle
But
pig.
it's whipstaff.
whip staff.
Castle whistle pig. Nice. I like it. But anyway, and this was actually a pretty cool moment in the movie. She goes through various options of trying to get the ghost out, right? She hires a priest, which is very exorcist-esque, although he's a complete...
Who was he?
I thought he was the guy that voiced the...
So do you remember the German explosive expert in Atlantis, the animated movie?
Yeah, I knew he was from that.
Oh, is he confirmed from that?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's his voice.
Okay, yep. Bailey was right.
Yeah.
Piece of concrete.
As soon as I heard him, I was like, that sounds like the guy from Atlantis.
Don Novello.
Even
Go
looks
on,
like
Ben.
him.
Mm-hmm. Does look like him. And while we're on it, how great is Atlantis? That movie
Atlantis is so good.
I love that movie.
Hannah just watched it the other night.
That movie is fucking...
How did she escape her whole life without watching that movie before?
Well, no, she's seen it before. She
okay.
put it on herself.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, Atlantis is
But go on.
Anyway, so she sends the priest in. He comes back out with his head turned on backwards and covered in pea soup. Nice nod to The Exorcist once again. And then after that comes running out Stance from the Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd in full costume, complete with proton pack. That was I actually think that's really cool. He looks at it. He's got a really like, Dan, come on. What were you doing with that mustache, pal? That was...
It was an era.
It was a Dirty Sanchez is what it was.
But who you going to call?
He looks right at her and says, who are you going to call? Someone else.
Yeah, the priest did like all the Atlantis shit, like every bit of it.
Oh, nice.
Whatever his name. But he was also in Godfather 3. Never watched it.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
The worst Godfather.
Oh.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
Oh, he's the bartender in Jack also. Nice.
The Robin Williams movie?
Yes, he was the bartender.
Don't
I'm just
remember that.
I'm just reporting, man.
Although to be fair, the last time I had to be 14.
Been a while. Been
It's
a while
been
for me to
long
do
time
that
for
one
Jack,
also.
Yeah, 14.
I bet
15.
Bailey's never seen it.
Nope.
Nope. Robin Williams plays a character.
Why do you hate Robin Williams?
I
That's actually a
love
good
Robin
movie.
She
Williams.
does not hate Robin Williams. If she did, we wouldn't be getting married.
If you would have watched Jack, you'd still be here.
Oh.
That was unnecessary.
She's like, don't put that on me. Don't put that on
I
me.
am personally offended.
You got to go watch Jack. Seriously,
I
it's a
do
good
need to
movie.
watch Jack. Yes.
Jack is a good one.
We're gonna have to
It'll
watch
make you
it.
cry.
It's one of the underrated ones. That
Am I
he
gonna
did
cry?
Yes.
You'll cry so hard.
Yeah, you'll cry. It's a good one. It's I would put it right up there with oh fuck. What's the one where he played the doctor?
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
Oh, I love Patch Adams.
I would put Jack up there with Patch Adams in my opinion.
Oh, that's a good film.
But so she sends the Ghostbusters come running out, just Stance comes running out and basically says, fuck off, lady. And so she's just like, just rip the whole thing down. And that doesn't work either. And Casper he's not eating, but he's just like sadly watching television.
Oh, yeah. He's just watching TV. I guess they changed that scene up, actually. I guess the original thing was he was supposed to be going through the town, like floating around through the town, going door to door, just like scaring some people. And then, well, no, he didn't scare people, but he heard some kids like having like a sleepover or something. And then he went inside to kind of chat with them, be friends. And then the dad came and seen him. He went down to the basement where the dad was, scared him too. And that's when he seen that on the TV, what he was watching. So
I would have liked that. I would have liked that.
No.
Just seeing him go through town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you guys have been, I like it being a creeper again. It's like a fucking ghost. It's like the definition of a creeper.
I mean, that's also a fair point. I don't know.
12-year-old creep.
I think I like the him watching TV at home board because like it shows like he's a loner. Like he's him lonely.
He's
He
been
ain't got
alone
no
for 100
friends.
years.
But he's watching TV like a depressed middle-aged housewife when he comes across a commercial. Well, it's a news report, really, like a expose, I guess.
Hard copy.
Hard
And,
copy.
and in that
Hard
flipping,
copy?
oh yeah, hard copy.
Yeah,
He actually flipped through channels. He came across the Casper cartoon.
he did. One of the original, well, not the original because I was in black and white, but one of the older episodes, still in color, but old, yes. And he comes across a hard copy episode on a psychiatrist for dead people.
What was his Harvey? What's his first name?
James.
James
James
Harvey.
Harvey, and played by Bill Pullman, great actor, and his daughter Kat, played by Christina Ricci. And Cardigan gets the great idea of hiring him to get the ghosts out. And
Well, Casper got the boner for Richie, and he's like, I gotta get her here.
I mean,
Creep.
I
Just to
think
segue for just a second here.
Okay.
Given his surprise when he actually sees a ghost, he's definitely a scam artist, right?
Right, like that's what I'm thinking. Because even the story with the old woman, she's like, my husband Harry or whatever fuck his name was. It's like, how? Like, what did he say to that woman to make her believe like her husband was there? He talked to her and talked to him and made him leave. He is definitely like some kind of weird scam artist.
I don't think it's so much as a scam as it is just sort of good intentions, wishful thinking, but also bullshit. Like, I don't know.
He believes what he's doing, even though it's not real.
Like, I think he's actually helping the widows or widowers more.
There are tons of like psychics and all that shit out there that actually believe they got some kind of powers and like think they're doing good, but they're still fucking scam artists.
Does he realize he's a scam artist though?
Yeah, because I guess because he says he's never seen a ghost. So I wonder if the scenario is he's going to these people's places and he's just like speaking to an empty room. It's like, okay, Harry, I know you got to cross over. Your business is finished. You got to move on. Just some weird to an open room shit. And this woman buys into it sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the only reason why I don't think if he is a scam artist, he's not aware of it is because the conversation he has about his wife, right? That is the whole reason why he's taken up this belief. And that's not something that he doesn't believe. That's what he really believes, that she's a ghost and that she's out there, and that because if there's multiple points at which this is confirmed, because like, okay, let's say he has the conversation with his daughter and he's lying to his daughter because he doesn't want her to know that he's a con man. Okay. But the minute the brothers bring it up, he's not shocked at the possibility. He's like, okay, he's like, yes, this is what I wanted, but we're not. He even tries to deflect from it. He says, but that's not what we're here for. So even in the face of the thing that he wants the most, he's still trying to maintain what he believes his job is. So if he is a scam artist, I don't believe he's aware of it. My opinion.
What a nice guy, Pullman.
He is a nice guy. Hey, listen, you cannot besmirch the great president of the United States. Not when they deliver a speech like that, you can't. Arguably, one could make the case that with that speech, he became president of the world, right? Because he said it's not just an American thing anymore. He's the world's president, bitch. Bill Pullman. So you take him for at his word.
No, Nixon is the president of the world. President of Earth.
Only in the Watchmen universe.
So yeah, Kerrigan hires the people and they're driving.
And they show up. And that's what basically fuels the whole plot. We have the bad guys trying to get what they think is treasure. Spoiler alert, it's not what they think. We have Casper trying to make friends with Christina Ricci and her dad. The trio of Fatso, Stretch, and Stinky trying to corrupt James, which is my favorite part of the movie. And basically all of the good guys are almost completely unaware of the bad guys until the very end.
Yeah.
Right. They want to be a quartet. That's
yep.
So wow, where are we now?
So
you skipped a lot of beats.
He just ran the whole movie.
He did.
Like that
I mean, so it's a predictable.
We tend to be doing that with these Cultober films.
Yeah, because it's kind of a predictable plot, right? So you have Kat, who from the very get-go, they spell her out as a loner, which is what really gets Casper interested in her.
They don't spell her out as a loner. That bitch reporter on the hardcover
literally said
his loner daughter. I'm like, that's a fucking 12-year-old bitch. Like,
she's older than that.
If you're moving around so much, though, you are going to be a loner.
But you don't have to tell her that.
I would think that you would not want to broadcast that on television. But Also,
So there was
90s.
a deleted scene, I guess, or act or whatever, where they're running in the car, they're having their whole heart-to-heart conversation, dad's not a ghost dad, all that shit. Before that, where she was still at the school, apparently there was a scene they cut where she was like auditioning for a play at the school.
No.
And I guess I don't know, I can't remember what the line he says in the car, but he says, I don't care what they say, blah, blah, blah. He was referencing that scene that didn't even make the movie.
Oh,
Christ, how long was this movie before they started cutting stuff? Because I mean, it's a decent length already.
it's an hour
100
40.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what was the uncut version? Was it like a 2.5, 3 hour long?
Oh, that would shock me.
Have you seen the whole song and dance they got rid of?
I didn't. Did they release it? I know there was one.
You can see like clips online where there has like some just like false like animated, like so they could see what it's looking like, type drawings and animation and stuff.
Oh,
So you can't, and they actually did it in the animated sequel. They went ahead and did the song that they wanted to do in the sequel because that was fully animated, so it was cheaper for them to do it.
Right. And it was the ghostly trio singing about being a ghost while in a therapy session with James, right?
It's like hard to be a ghost or something. Like Fatso's going over like all of his mental issues and some shit. I don't know. It's a whole song and dance that they cut.
Well, if they hadn't cut it before, they definitely would cut it now. So,
Well, like they filmed a bunch of stuff for it, even for the film, and just by the time it hit post production, they're like, nah, too much money to complete that. And it's not even important to the story anyway.
I mean, gee whiz, there's still a lot to cut. I mean, but there was a lot they cut anyway. Holy crap. But
I think the deleted scene that got me the most, which we've kind of gotten to it where we are right now, is, because she goes to the new school. She tells people she's a whip staff. They decide to have a party at her place, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, all that.
right.
So there's a scene while they're going to school. Because Casper does the whole tying of the shoes thing.
Mhm.
And then the dude follows her home, asks her to the dance or whatever. And
Which,
then she's
fuck
like
that
being
little
like,
bastard. Gentlemen, never let a bitchy woman talk you into doing something like that.
is he a simp?
Yes, he is. Because the reason why he's a simp is because he knew he shouldn't be doing it. He even said he didn't feel good about doing it, and he did it anyway. That's what makes you a simp. If you follow blindly and you're like, nah, all good here, then it's fine with your moral code. You're not a simp. It's when you know you shouldn't be doing it and you do it anyway.
And
Right.
he's listening to the girl that the party was supposed to be at her house.
Right.
Before they
she
found
just,
And she's a Stacy. She's a Stacy in training.
yeah, she's just typical, I hate new girl bitch. She's cooler than me, but whatever.
Yeah.
Just one of those. But like the scene after he asked her out, and then like keep forgetting her name, but Christina's character, what's her name? Fuck.
Cat.
Cat.
Cat. Yeah,
You
Cat.
have one.
He's a bitch. Okay, he's a bitch. But like where she's being like super cold to Casper, like she's throwing like shutting him in the closet, like shoving him in the drawer, like being real shitty toward him.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense because of a scene they cut when they're going to school. He's like going around with her, like hiding in different bushes and stuff, following with her to school.
Oh,
And he like revealed to her like he's the reason why she's there because, he's seen her on TV. He had to see her, get her in person. He fell in love with her. He got Kerrigan to get him there. And she got like super pissed at him. She's like, you're the reason I had to just uproot everything and move again. So like, that's where that animosity's coming from in that moment. And then it kind of builds into the lighthouse scene where he flies her away because that's like their reconciliation moment. So
Right.
like,
Or he
that's
kidnaps
supposed
her.
to be more impactful when that happens.
where the
Listen,
creep kidnaps her.
I'll defend Casper for everything except for when he kidnaps her and dangles her by her foot like 1,000 feet up in the air.
Yeah,
that
that
shit
was-
is not okay. He even drops her once.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Yeah, it's like Casper. But again, he's a 12-year-old. What the fuck does he know? His brain's, if he was a human being, his brain would be pudding.
That's true. That's true. But I thought that was like an interesting scene that was cut, just like, which definitely would have said more to the rudeness she was being to him in the room there.
It does, but they expressed that like she is one of the things that's kind of cool is they didn't opt to do the like she doesn't play off that whole I don't care what anybody thinks. She actually does want to fit in and she does want to have friends. So I think the scene of him tying all their shoes together and stuff was enough. That probably
Yeah,
would have
but
been.
was that a reason to be mad enough at him though?
If she's worried about fitting in and she's already feeling like an outsider, and now that she showed up, this freaky shit starts happening, especially if the town's already on edge about ghosts. Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, obviously the cut stuff makes more sense, but I think you can get there with what was shown.
He was also like mimicking what the guy was saying, like behind her
Yeah.
or behind him.
Yeah,
like,
he had been working on her nerves for a minute.
yeah, like that makes a lot more sense now because then you had the deleted scene stuff on top of not feeling like you can be
Yeah, he's
left
kind of trying to
alone.
make her laugh in that moment or something.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
but I
hey,
mean, that can be obnoxious. You know, everybody's had a friend.
every
that-
12-year-old's obnoxious. It's fine.
I mean, listen, you're not gonna
especially if
hear
they're
me.
creeps.
I think every 12-year-old is a creep by definition.
Oh, anyway, I just wanted to back us up and talk about that but like you said, we can only judge it on what made the cut.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think you get there. So, you know, we have the party is getting ready to happen, and Kat she has that moment at the lighthouse that you were talking about where she figures out that Casper doesn't really remember anything about his life.
guy.
And she finds a room in the attic that had all of his toys, and she must have had a spare weekend or whatever to set all this up that Casper didn't know about because
For like-
that shit would have
I
taken.
guess that's what I'm missing. Like, what is the span of time in this film?
With the amount of stuff they cut out of it, I understand now why it seems like that because they cut a shit ton.
Mhm.
There was stuff they didn't film, but the stuff they cut out was a lot.
Yeah, because
So-
they cut out a lot of like therapy sessions between the dad and the trio.
Oh, I wish they
And
had on that one.
they also
Yeah.
cut out a lot of scenes of Kerrigan and the lawyer.
That's fine.
So there is like passages of time that they just cut out that gave us a sense of how long this was taking.
Oh yeah, I wish they would have left a little bit more in of the villains, just because now that I know it's out there, it does make them feel like they're pretty absent in this movie.
Yeah.
although,
Well, yeah, I mean, just think how many through lines we have in this film.
although to be honest, though, I mean, this is a Casper movie, right? Like
Mhm.
they were like, this was the big launch, so obviously he was going to be the main focus.
Right.
But so she sets up all of this stuff to kind of jog his memory, and that leads him to remember that there is a secret lab under the house where his dad has invented a Lazarus machine that turns ghosts into humans,
Mhm.
and Casper just forgot. Which I mean,
Forgot everything.
it's that simple. It does make sense that he forgot, but also it's kind of implied that back when he did remember, he couldn't operate it himself anyway. So it was kind of useless to him, and then he just kind of forgot it over time. But
did his dad die in testing, or did he get his throat cut by the razor machine, or what?
No,
Right,
his
that-
Cleared insane.
that razor machine, like, listen, every ounce of that chair, fine, whatever. Until you get to the razor machine, you are a dead motherfucker if you sit in that chair and stay there.
no, a lot of the dad's storyline is seen in those newspapers. So like when, Kat finds the story to read and everything, if you're looking through them and read them, he basically built the Lazarus, tried to bring his son back because he was filled with guilt because he died of pneumonia off the gift that he got him. And then he's like claiming that his son is haunting him, which he sure was.
Yup.
And it drove him insane. And
Oh my God.
for some reason, he got it was forcibly declared that he was insane, and he got taken to the insane asylum where he lived out the rest of his days.
Well, his dad was obviously a rich businessman because, I mean, he was
an inventor.
Okay, well, he was a really good goddamn inventor then because he had
Yeah,
a
that's like the whole thing. He was just an inventor, and once his son died, he put all of his power into creating that machine, the Lazarus, to try to bring his son back, which brings us kind of to our first plot hole. It's like, because ghosts have unfinished business. So once Casper's dad died, why didn't Casper move on?
He's still haunting the insane asylum.
Is that house the insane asylum?
No. His dad has died at the insane asylum, right? Did
Right,
you just
but the
say,
dad-
why didn't his dad not move?
Why didn't Casper move on?
Because
Because he came back for his dad. That's why he was haunting his dad. He didn't want to leave his dad.
Oh,
Well,
that's
if it's-
good.
No, I think it was just
Good point.
I think it was guilt. I think the guilt brought him back because he stayed around for his dad, but then his dad literally lost his life because of his son. So maybe the guilt just kept him there.
Yeah, because the dad moved on because the mom talks about it later. It's like, your dad is so proud of you.
Like, I got to be honest, I don't give a shit about Casper's. I want to know what the Ghostly Trio's unfinished business is. What are those three motherfuckers hanging around for?
Terrorizing
Apparently
every
there's
person
another
ever.
apparently there's another scene, but I couldn't find anything about it. That was deleted, where the trio actually talked about Casper's dad. I don't know if it was ever filmed or if there was a script of it, but apparently there is like a scene that was supposed to be where the trio talked about Casper's dad for some reason.
Did they know him? Were they?
They're his brothers.
Is it? So that's
That's his
never.
uncles and that's their brother.
That's never
Yeah.
directly confirmed that they're like blood related uncles.
It could have been Casper's mother's brothers.
Could have been that. It could have been they were haunting the house before Casper, and so he just kind of when he lost his
everything-
memory, he just assumed that they
When
were his
I
uncles.
was,
Everything
I was
I've
looking
found,
up, it
yeah.
said it was confirmed that they're his uncles.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah, everything I found is that Casper's dad was their
Picture.
brother.
yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
maybe that's also in the animated sequel. But in this,
And it was presumably that Casper's dad was the youngest brother.
Oh.
Interesting.
So that's
So
why
what,
they're
like
kind of
all the family
shitty to
genetics just went to
Casper.
him then, huh?
Yeah, because, younger brother, younger Casper.
Maybe that's where the big ass house came from. Maybe they were like rich.
Oh, they were.
Scene.
Yeah, they definitely, for him to be able to afford the materials to make that machine by itself.
Yeah, because they all lived there, right? Because the dad was there. All three of them had beds there. Casper was there.
I have a running theory that they were a part of the Italian mob.
That makes sense.
Mob?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a running theory they were a part of the Italian mob because their house is literally seaside on a cliff. There is like all kinds of art everywhere. They all like have very Italian-esque ways of speaking.
Yeah, and Eric was the one to point out that all three of the brothers are like an Italian stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Italian actors, though, right?
Or were they all Italian?
No. The one that played Stretch, I don't believe was Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Or Stinky. I mean, I don't know about Stretch. I couldn't find any pictures of him.
I guess it was actually a good thing that they got the actors they did because like little things made those characters better from the actors. Because like, when they come back from whatever, when they're terrorizing the rodeo or something.
Yeah.
Like just like little lines where like the line was supposed to be like, here, horsey. And he scares them. Blah! And he says flicker instead, like here, flicker. So just like little things like that, those voice actors brought to the table to make it a little bit more.
Those three were amazing. They were awesome. I could have used more of them in the film.
Oh yeah, they were great.
We can also just have a film of those guys.
That would be fine as well.
I would take
just to see what they do.
Their
on
story
the
would be, but it'd be fun.
Just watch them terrorize people all day long. I would be fine with that.
I could even
that's fair.
I could even do a mini series of them just doing the sessions with James.
Oh yeah,
just getting their backstory and some. That would be fun. Just learning the stuff that they did. But anyway, while Christina Ricci and Casper are doing this whole song and dance with the Lazarus machine, talking about bringing him back to life, we cut over to James and the ghostly trio, and they're basically removing the stick from James's ass at a bar.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're all...
Which another scene was cut when they chased everyone out of the bar.
Oh, yeah, except for one person. There is a dude in the background that I'd never noticed before, but he's just kind of hanging out in the back. And
I guess they did have the scene where they all showed up and scared everyone out of the bar. It was just them left.
They should have kept it.
For the passed out guy.
Except for the past, because I don't even think there was a bartender there, right?
No.
Yeah, so they would basically have the bar to themselves because they scared everyone off.
This town,
except for that one lonely drunk.
If you kept the Casper thing and them scaring the people out of the bar, this town is just like being terrorized.
Yeah,
I'd have fucking moved.
How would you
when
not?
I saw that big mansion on the fucking hillside, that's all fucking nobody ever goes there, and it's supposed to be haunted. Nah, I'm going.
No, the kids are like, let's have a party there.
Yeah,
coming out or something like that. Nope.
But anyway, James is drunk as shit. And they discuss killing him and making him a ghost, but
because they want to be a quartet.
Yeah, but in an act of like good character, they can't do it. He starts hugging on him and kissing him and talking about how he loves them, and they're like, "We can't."
I'm just going to tell that bitch you're not leaving.
It's your house. You've been there for years.
Possession's 9/10 of the law. It's like I don't think that's how that works. I debate whether or not they can possess anything by the law definition of the word.
I mean, if they're there for 21 years or longer, it's fine.
They're not living. I don't think they actually have rights.
I mean, as long as it's still standing.
No, they're not still standing.
They have no feet.
They're more vertical than the house.
Okay, you got a point.
Ben, you should watch the Casper Meets Wendy if you haven't, though.
Oh, it's really good.
They turn into humans.
Dude, the ghostly trio?
Actually, yeah, they do. They go to a whole like buffet banquet type deal.
They possess bodies to do it, but
are they done? But is the voices the same voices?
Question mark.
See, that would be this because I grew up with this. I have the ghostly trio's voice in my head as being just those voices. So if it ain't being done by those three, I'm probably not gonna like it.
I don't know.
I've never seen another iteration of those three other than this movie. So I'm hesitant.
Probably not that.
But anyway, he walks off a cliff because there's a lot of cliffs in this place. There's cliffs everywhere.
Property.
I mean, yeah. So he walks off a cliff and dies. Meanwhile, Cardigan, whatever the hell her name is, and the cuck.
Cardigan.
That's
Cardigan
and the cuck.
Perfect.
Cardigan the cuck.
have eavesdropped this entire conversation with Christina Ricci and Casper. Cat and Casper. Oh my God, it's Cat, Casper, Cardigan, and the cuck.
The Adventures of.
Jesus Christ.
The Adventures of Cat. What was it?
Cat, Casper, Cardigan, and the cuck. Jesus.
Let's take our own spinoff.
Anyway, they've been eavesdropping the whole conversation about the Lazarus machine. I kept wanting to say pit. Hello, Batman. But and so
It
they're
was
like,
in a pit.
they're like, we can become a ghost and then slip into the vault because there's a vault down there, which is where they think the gold is. And then we can slip out and use the Lazarus machine to come back to life. So Cardigan, I like Cardigan better. Cardigan immediately starts trying to kill the cuck. The C's and the K's just keep coming.
Yep. She just goes, well, it's nothing personal.
She grabs a giant axe and just starts marching down the hallway at him. It's like bitch.
Yeah, like, first of all, how heavy is that thing?
I mean, it's probably pretty heavy.
Like, you've got to put so much work into just carrying it and then just swing it on top of that. Like, oh my goodness. But he gets in and out of that armor super freaking quick. Like, full body, mask, helmet, armor, everything.
Now that we know how
much...
much...
spread like oil on the floor or something
paint.
like that?
I think it's paint.
It looks like pudding.
Okay, so it's either oil, pudding, or paint. Whatever.
Leave in the comments what
Blood.
you think
I'll just make it blood. That's fine.
Okay, or blood for Michael. But like, now that we know there's so much cut from this movie, I guarantee you there's probably more cut
from this scene in
from
particular.
him getting into the armor, because we flashed her walking down the hallway, because like she swings with this axe that she gets from nowhere. He ducks and runs. It shows her walking down the hallway towards him. Cuts to him, and he's around the corner of the hallway in a full fucking suit of armor, spreading some sort of viscous fluid on the floor.
On his hands and knees.
On his hands and knees. She hits the fluid, flies out. Where does she fly? Like out into the driveway?
She flies out of like a window.
Like the window, yeah, off the cliff.
No, because she steps out of the car into the cliff.
Oh, okay.
Right, but she went out to the driveway or something, and he went out
she like falls out the window onto the cliff.
Yep.
And then when we see him again, he's out of the suit of armor.
Yes.
Which is really fast. She gets in the car, tries to run him over. She ends up almost driving off the cliff and then falls. And then she becomes the ghost, which was actually a pretty cool reveal, really. You know, he's standing there and then the shadow rises up over him and she's like, "Not so fast, little man. The bitch is back." Like, okay, cool. I mean, if I were him, I would have just right then and there, that would have been, I mean, not that the final straw wasn't getting my hands burnt, getting into a fight with a razor chair, just her being...
he had many reasons to leave before.
Yep. But if none of those counted, seeing that giant twat waffle as a ghost would have been enough. Is that inaccurate?
Nope, that's fine.
She is a twat waffle.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
It's just a funny insult to use. Twat waffle.
So she flies into the vault. Casper and Kat are getting ready to use the machine because they try to use it once. The cuck... No, was it the cuck or Kerrigan?
It was the cuck that took it the first time. Well, the only time.
No, it was Kerrigan. It's Kerrigan who took it the first time. He ended up with it when she fell out the window.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But it's this primeval ooze. It's the MacGuffin that makes the machine work. And there's only there's only a dose for one person, naturally. So they're getting ready to use it when she comes in, gets into the vault, steals the trunk of treasure. And how does she lose the trunk? I don't even remember.
By saying she no longer has any more unfinished business. She got everything she wanted.
No, first, because...
she just set it down.
Yeah, okay. So she sets it down and then the cuck picks it up and he's like, "I have the juice, I have the treasure, and I'm leaving." I don't know why he thought this would work. Did anybody else?
If you listen to, like, even when they're getting in there, he's probably banking on her not being fully the same, kind of. Because he's even reminding her why they're there at this house.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when you turn to a ghost, you start forgetting your human life. So the only reason she's conscious.
I don't know what part of him didn't think she would lash out at him physically, though.
Right, because a part of it's like people, there's like a thought that the reason she remembers her human life so well, better than Harvey does, Dad, is because he was probably reminding her the whole way back to the house of like what the fuck we're doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's like an aspect where people think that's what's going on.
And also, I think a bit of Harvey was looking to escape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's part of that
so
also.
He probably gave it. He didn't realize he was doing it, but I bet he gave it up just a little bit more freely than she would. She's a fucking control freak.
Mm-hmm.
But
that was speculated also that he was just trying to get away from the grief of his wife dying.
Absolutely.
And all that, so.
I subscribe to that 100%. But she completely punched the cuck through the ceiling and he gone.
Dead.
And
to circle back, they did not get all the three voice actors for Casper Meets Wendy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's too bad. But anyway, so Cardigan has the juice. She's got the treasure. She's like, I've got everything. I'm perfect. And Christina Ricci's like, well, what about your unfinished business? Which then causes her to cross over to the other side and get evaporated into a smoke of light.
Right. They put clothes on her because she was too shapely for that naked form that they was going to do the rest of everyone.
Yeah, she was. They upped those puppies when she was a ghost.
Yeah, just fun fact.
But anyway, Casper's getting ready to jump into the Lazarus machine when James shows up as a ghost, and Kat is, of course, completely distraught because her father is a ghost.
That was, you know what? If I had to nitpick at any acting she did in this film, is during that part where she's like trying to do this crying thing.
Yeah, that is a weak spot in her acting in this film. If you were going to pick one, for sure, that's the one I would go for too. Now that you mentioned it,
yeah, because I'm just like, can you either cry or not? I don't know. Are you trying to make yourself cry? Can figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out, Christina.
Yeah, she's usually a pretty good actress, but that particular part just wasn't there. Casper gives up the one and only dose to bring James back to life.
They cut a scene there too.
Really? How so?
Yeah. It was supposed to be like where he's about to take him to the machine. The trio gets in their way and tells Casper, no, you ain't doing that. We got our quartet or whatever. Just basically telling him no. And then Casper gets like really big, towering over them, tell him like, you're not going to tell me what to do anymore. Basically standing up to his uncles because he puts himself in like a much bigger form, towering over them, telling them how it's going to be. And he's like, I'll clean up after you when I want to clean up after you, stuff like that. So they basically just had like a big moment for Casper to like tell his uncles off. But they didn't want to take away from what he was actually giving up by helping the dad out, so they cut it out.
Oh, interesting. I'm not sure if I would have liked that better or not.
I would not have, because I like the fact that the ghostly trio end as good guys. Like they decided not to kill him. Spoiler alert. I mean, but spoiler alert. They actually do find James's wife and bring her to him. She does confirm that for James. So I like the fact that once they realize that they actually like this guy, they don't do that again. I would have hated for them to kind of revert back to that. No, we need a quartet type thing. I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, you make a good argument there. That's good.
Eursa agrees.
I like that he kept most of the surprise out of his voice. Thank you, Eursa. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Look at you go.
He made one. Anyway, so...
Even a broken watch,
That's still not a Christmas movie. But James comes back to life. Kat goes to her party.
Which, to that point, real quick,
sure.
Where'd that body come from?
Eric had the same question. He's like, there's still another body of him out there.
So is he going to convince them he's not dead?
And glasses and everything.
It's also a dimensional portal.
Apparently.
Just to displace
sucks you out of like an alternate dimension. That's what happens.
Listen, it just depends on which dimension we're talking about. We
That
had an
shit don't
entire
exist, Bailey.
episode about this on Cult Talks Conspiracy. Go listen to it.
No one cares about your show.
We all care about the shows.
No, it's a good show. It's doing well. Go watch it on Cult Talks
really
Conspiracy.
At the time of recording.
Yeah, people care at this particular time while we're recording.
No, but I mean, it really does depend on what dimension you're in. Because, I don't know, when you die.
Which dimension would bring his body out of that trench and into that machine?
The no body trench dimension.
No,
what are you talking about?
Any dimension or any universe that exists where he didn't die.
Yeah.
Maybe they plucked him right out of a time loop.
Is
right
that the machine did? Did the machine just jump everyone to a different timeline?
I don't know, man. It's the Lazarus machine.
That's my theory.
Listen, we've got a quarter of this movie left. Let's keep focused. God damn it.
At an hour 12.
Ben's like, God damn it. Move on.
We're almost there. Don't get hung up on this yet. You can revisit it at the end. So she goes to the party. The two little bitch kids that were going to give her a hard time end up getting scared to death by the ghostly trio. Casper gets a reward for his selfless sacrifice by James's mom. He gets till 10 o'clock. Cat's mom, not James's mom. That would have been weird. Hi, mom. Changes the context just a wee bit. But Cat's mom allows him to be human till 10 o'clock so that he can go enjoy one dance with a girl.
And Cinderella got till midnight.
Well, Cinderella was at 12.
And neither was that boy that they turned him into.
Oh.
You can tell that boy
he was 14.
Yeah, that boy is way older than what Casper's supposed to be. But he gets to dance with her. She gives him a kiss. James gets to have a final conversation with his wife until the day that he dies and is back with her. And the ghostly trio sing Casper the Friendly Ghost, and it's a happy ending. There. Now talk about your dimensional portals where people become ghosts or don't become ghosts.
No, I'm over it now.
Same, you ruined it.
You ruined it. You ruined the
Good.
moment. Ben,
Good.
Ben just
That's
stole our
fine.
moment.
That's fine. Whatever.
Bailey, he's yours when he acts like that.
I know.
I'm gypsies when I act like this. Are you kidding?
That's
Oh.
better. I like that. Hi, baby.
Gypsy's like, what? You fucking what?
If you could see her face, you would know how actually true that is.
Fine, since Ben ruined the fun and we got through the film, let's move on to our next segment. We're going to rate this some bitch.
Hi, I'm Casper.
Bailey,
Michael.
what'd you think of Casper?
I love this movie.
It's okay, Jennifer.
I scared the dog.
Gypsy's ears and head just went way up when she was Michael. She's like, Mom, what the fuck?
No,
It's all
no,
right,
Mom.
big girl.
I loved this movie. There was a lot from it that I actually didn't remember because I haven't seen it since I was like a wee thing. I loved all the references. Probably my favorite reference, or my favorite cameo, I should say, is Mel Gibson. I love Mel Gibson. I'm sorry. He's awesome. So the fact that he like made a little like, especially like commenting on his fantastic jawbone, like just that little hint there. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, the way you and Tyler talk about Jews on your podcast, I'm not surprised you like Mel Gibson. It's
Hey,
fine.
listen, don't make me stand up for Mel Gibson, man. Don't make me do it.
What are you
That's not
talking
what I
about?
woke up today wanting to do.
What is he talking
Oh, he
about?
hates the Jews.
No, he doesn't. Does he really?
Allegedly.
He
Get
had
fucking sued by Mel Gibson here, guys. Come on. Allegedly.
yeah, he had some mental health problems back in the day, but he seems to have been doing much better. So
Listen, as
I'm
long
not-
as like he's like, I don't know. I hope the best for him. I hope he's
we can
he's
move
loving
past
all.
it. That's on me. We can move past it.
Damn it, Michael.
Your in-house Jew here says we can move past it.
I will stand by every single ounce of Mel Gibson's acting. That's what I'll say.
I just love
That's fair.
I just love the fact that he had a little cameo in there. That's all. That's all.
But what about Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood's a god amongst men.
Yeah, he
But-
could get it. So, Ursa, what'd you think of Casper?
I liked this movie. It was probably just as good as I remember it being when I was a kid.
Just as good.
Just as good, not better. I guess just
Well-
as good is better than worse.
Actually, so when just as good as when you remember it as a kid is actually really good, because usually as a kid you remember things way better than they are.
That's true.
So when I see something that I liked as a kid and I'm like, and I rewatch it and it's just like I remembered as a kid, I'm usually pretty happy with that.
Well,
Yeah.
moving on to Ben then. So, what was your thoughts, Ben?
I
What'd you
have
think of
nothing.
it?
I have nothing bad to say about this movie. Casper. It's a foundational movie of mine. I remember going seeing it in theaters. I had it on VHS. I've never not watched it. I love this movie.
Awesome.
Was this rated PG? PG-13?
It's a PG.
PG.
PG. So, yeah. I liked it. I liked it again. I'll definitely, I don't go out my way to watch Casper. I know this was my pick, but it's like Ben and I were just like, why? How is Casper keep missing Cultober? I was like, well, this year it's not, damn it.
Yep.
But I didn't realize how creepy Casper was. Like on this rewatch, I'm just like, God damn it, Casper, quit being such a creep. Like,
Is he a creep or is he just a lonely kid?
I wouldn't be surprised if they delete a scene where he's watching her get dressed. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I just,
Right.
but I mean, also, 12-year-old,
But
like,
also
they
it's-
don't, like, kids that young, they don't know boundaries either.
So you're saying
they're
it's
taught
okay that
I'm not
Casper
saying
watched
it's
her get dressed?
okay. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay.
'Cause
What
we
I
talked
am
about the
saying is
pillow.
they
you-
have to be taught boundaries. He was never
like
taught
boys
those
will
boundaries.
be boys? Is that what you're saying?
Are you a boys will be boys?
No, because it would be the same argument if that was a girl.
Yeah, it'd be creepy if it was a girl doing it too.
Listen, when it comes to violence, boys will be boys.
Boy, he
Boys
wasn't
will
violent.
absolutely get
Well,
into fights with one another over stupid shit.
Could
And
we
sometimes-
argue as violent how he flew her out the window by her ankle?
I mean, if you're using the pussy
mean-
version of violence, then yeah, sure.
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping is a better
Yeah,
term
kidnapping.
for that. Like aggressive, hostile kidnapping. Like, oh
Just,
my gosh.
why did he throw himself under her as a pillow? Like, why did that happen?
I think my
Sniffing
theory,
her hair?
my theory is that
Wasn't he trying to talk to her?
yeah, because he was like trying to figure out how to talk to her. I think he was trying to figure out how to like get her to notice him, and then it just didn't pan out. But also, she says that he's cold all the time. So wouldn't she have noticed like how cold her pillow just got?
Oh no, that's just the cool side of the pillow. It's a part we always hope for.
She said cold, not cool.
Yeah, I said cold. Because she even asked him to like close the window, and it ends up that he's like right next to her.
When he kissed her when she was sleeping?
On the
definitely
cheek.
not
On the
creepy.
cheek. You know what's creepier than the kiss on the cheek? That line, "Can I keep you?" Like, no.
Thanks, JJ.
Like, I don't fucking like that. I understand that it's meant to be like, will you be my friend forever? But I would have rather, will you be my friend forever than can I keep you?
I'm like, no, Casper, when I die, I'm moving on. You creep. But yeah,
no
that's
comment. Not touching this one.
But overall, I do not think Casper is a creepy kid. I don't. I think he's just lonely.
But yeah, beyond that, I also noticed this time around, especially after learning the writer lady also wrote for Animaniacs, how we got that PG nod to the parents kind of things. Like when the trio's inside the vacuum cleaner, he's like, "Get your head off of my whatever," and he's
Get
like,
your pointy
"That's not
head
my
out of
head."
my. That's not my head.
Ugh.
What was it?
So his penis, Bailey,
Oh.
his penis,
Oh.
It was a ghost dick.
ghost dick in his head.
Ooh.
Thank God Ty's not here. He'd want to turn that into a horror film in Bulgaria.
Ghost dick in your
my
head.
No, just ghost dick. He would have class with the name.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a movie already called Ghost Dick that he's watched.
When you don't give a sheet.
Ah, damn it. So Ben had the top.
Fantastic fun. Eric just
So
walked
Ben-
into the studio.
You know, we had an episode without Tyler, so we didn't have to talk about Bulgaria. We had an episode without Eric, so we didn't have to have this pun. And why did you both feel the need to step in for them?
Because sometimes the spirit just moves us.
Ben, what's your excuse
For what?
for bringing up Bulgaria? We almost got through a whole episode without Bulgaria being mentioned.
I'll mention Bulgaria as long as Ty's not here.
Is it like Bulgaria's cheating on Ty or something when you use the word?
It depends on who has custody of it.
No, I just don't want to feed into his delusions.
So I'll do it not around him.
Correct.
But just
Listen, if you got an alcoholic that's jonesing, you can talk about alcohol when they're not around.
That's sure. That's
Okay.
Whatever. Bailey.
yeah.
So what's your rating of Casper?
Oh my God, you asked me too soon. 5 out of 5.
I'll move on then. Never mind.
okay.
Ursa, what's your rating?
5 out of 5 razor chairs.
Razor chairs. Fine, Bailey. Are you ready now?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go ahead, Bailey.
I'm giving it 5 out of 5 donuts and cake for breakfast.
Oh, Jesus. That was a lot of just junk they were
was
shoveling,
just-
dude.
I love the
I mean,
fact
you're
that it
already
was like
dead.
mud pie.
I would fucking eat like that if I was already dead.
Why
Oh,
are they
yeah.
eating? They can't taste it.
I mean, it's going straight through them. They have a tongue and teeth. So I mean,
I actually think they do because they also appear to get intoxicated while drinking alcohol.
yeah.
So my theory is that it's actually the memory sense of the thing that inflicts the condition on them, kind of like a psychosomatic ordeal.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good argument.
Hey, that's
That's
two.
2 in one episode.
Ursa's
one
complimenting my
more, you get a
arguments today.
sticker. One more, you get a sticker, Ben. Ben, what's your rating?
I'm gonna give this 5 out of 5 ghostly trios. It's just great. I love this film. The performances are great. I love it. I would pick a thing. I like it.
Pick a thing you like it.
Yep.
Creepy 12-year-olds. Which
I like
brings
it.
me to my rating. 4 out of 5 creepy. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 creepy 12-year-olds.
Oh God.
Fine.
We'll allow it.
Why was my pick?
That means next year you have to pick the good son for Culttober.
Haven't seen it.
Bailey, have you seen that?
Nope.
Golly. You want to cry some more in your life?
Oh my God! There's a scene
Sweet.
where a psycho kid kills a dog with a screw gun.
I'm not watching it.
Fucking
No.
rough. That movie. It's Macaulay Culkin. He plays Home Alone.
Absolutely not. I will never be able to watch Home Alone in the same way.
Oh my God! It's
Never.
like the good son is what happens to him after.
Oh God, absolutely not.
That was a creepy movie.
I think, yeah, because I'm trying to remember. We don't really see him shoot the dog, do we?
No.
Like, we just kind of hear it.
Yeah, they show him, his face, and then they show the barrel of the gun going off, and then you hear the dog like crying out.
Oh my God.
Right. So trigger warning for people who hate hearing dogs dying.
And then he terrorizes young Elijah Wood for the rest of the movie. It's a fucking.
It's a great
When they
movie.
dump that mannequin off the bridge.
Ugh.
Ursa's sitting there
Just
fucking laughing.
I think I can't remember the name of the movie. I think it's called Dope. It's like this kid like deals drugs and stuff. Well, he's like a mule. But there's a scene where he kills his dog. It's like a fight dog. So there's like a fighting pit bull. So he's like killing it because reasons, but it's fully healthy. It didn't need to die. And he gets its leash, throws it up over like a ladder thing, like in an alley, and he just pulls it up and ties it. He just sits there and watches it strangle to death.
Jesus.
I was like, golly, that was like the most rough, like killing dog scene I've ever seen.
Man.
No.
So Casper was a happy movie.
Yeah. Woof.
There's no dogs that in Casper.
Ursa,
did we hear
get to-
dogging?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, Ursa did.
Do
out
we
of
hear
5.
dogging?
Yeah, Athena was trying to play with her hot dog.
Her hot dog.
So that I
It's
mean,
a
I guess
unanimous
they're
5 out of 5 from all of us.
Yes.
Is that the first one of Cultober? I don't know.
think so.
Let's see. We had Hocus
Well, we don't
Pocus. I
know
wasn't
that
on
yet.
that one.
For
Was
the
Hocus
first
Pocus?
one.
Yeah, but there's some. What have we reviewed thus far?
Hocus Pocus? Was that
not-
5 out of 5?
No, I don't
No?
think that was a perfect 5.
That was not.
Close. Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That was definitely not a perfect 5.
Nope.
Mouth of Madness?
No.
Not a perfect 5.
Casper.
Casper.
Yep, Casper is our first perfect 5 out
Our
of.
first perfect 5. Look at us go.
Yeah.
We did it. Good job, Michael.
We all knew it needed to be part of Cultober one year, and this year we just have good PG films falling on Sundays. So here you are.
Yeah, kind of revisiting the childhood a bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nostalgia.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. Things to look forward to. We got Bone Tomahawk coming out this week.
Can't wait.
Who's on that one? Bailey, Eric, Ursa, Ty. You excited?
Yeah, because I've actually never seen Bone Tomahawk, so it'll be a first time watch for me again. I'm very excited.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Kurt Russell.
Wonderful.
Then we got Werewolves Encounters coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of werewolves, Dogman. It's gonna be a fun take.
Then we got Splinter coming up
I can't wait for that. I haven't seen that
as the
either.
next Cultober exclusive. That's going to
Yeah.
be Ben, Eric, Ursa, and Ty.
Right on. Ty's been wanting me to watch this for a minute, so this should be interesting.
Then our next Call to Campbell coming up will be Call to Campbell Psych, Nightmare on State Street.
Nice.
Have you ever watched Psych? Any of you?
I've seen an episode here or there. Never sat down and watched it. No.
It's another one of those series that I've watched all the way through multiple times. So like, what's my shows that I've done that for? Psych, Burn Notice, That 70 Show, NCIS, which it's still running.
Did you do
What's your
The
guys'
Office?
shows? The Office, yeah, Office multiple times, along with Parks and Rec for that matter. Then, what's your guys' shows you watched over and over again? Probably MASH for you guys, right?
MASH for me, definitely.
Yeah. I'm still in the process of
Going through MASH.
yes.
Has she cried yet?
No.
Not yet.
No. Did you cry when Henry Blake Blake died?
Yes. Oh my God, that scarred me for life.
So for me, MASH, Spartacus is a TV show that I've watched multiple times. Frasier is another one that I really enjoy. I'm sure that shocks everybody. TV shows. Bob's Burgers is one that I've watched. I'm caught up on and have watched over and over again. Ancient Aliens is always fun when you're inebriated and going to bed. So that's a fun one. I have a few. Ancient Aliens is my guilty pleasure.
I love Ancient Aliens. I love it so
Ursa,
much.
what's your shows?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We'll be here all day.
Oh, just your favorites, I guess. Then that you've watched over and over again.
Archer.
What's your go-tos?
Archer. I love Archer. South Park. I've seen every episode of Archer.
I need to desperately revisit South Park starting from the beginning and just plowing through all of it. I need to.
I would be down for that.
I want to so bad.
Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. I've seen every episode of Game of Thrones too.
I haven't watched one episode of Game of Thrones.
I tried to make it through the first season and like a long time ago, back when I still lived with my mom, and I couldn't do it.
I joined in the 4th season of Game of Thrones, and I ducked out right at the beginning of that final season because
Sounds like a smart choice.
Yeah, all of my
That last
warning
season
bells,
was pretty bad.
all of my warning bells were tripping, and it also helped that I didn't have access to like watch it at the moment, so I had to wait for DVD anyway. And by the time that came out, I was just like, "Oh my God, what the fuck did you guys do?"
Mhm.
Because I mean, like it was like a wailing across the land when that season came out. Holy shit!
So awesome. Sorry to digress us, but yeah, you got to look ahead of Cultober coming up. We got a lot more exclusive content. What I mentioned, it's like, I need to jump up to Call to Lore, the next Call to Lore this month.
It's going to be H.P. Lovecraft.
Woo!
Lovecraft, world history. You talking
World
about
history.
the world or just the creatures in it?
We're gonna talk. We're gonna try. So it's not gonna be strictly just H.P. Lovecraft because he left his world open, and there were several foundational players that helped establish kind of a world history according to the Lovecraft mythology. And so that's what we're gonna examine. It's not really an H.P. Lovecraft overall. We are just going to do the timeline according to his history.
Gotcha.
Should be a lot of fun. It's
Awesome.
gonna get weird. Gonna get real weird.
Right. So that's like the next episode. Cold Lord, we came off. I can't say that name
The
again.
Damonculaba, the traumatizing
Sure.
experience.
And then I'll mention the Cult Talk exclusive where we said Splinter. So the rest of this week, you got Splinter, Friday the 13th, and Halloween Town next Sunday. How about that? Who's on that one? That's Bailey, Eric. I'm on another one. Damn it.
You
Why did I
wanted to do these. You wanted to do these PG ones, man.
Halloween
God,
Town's fun. It's another really, really
Oh
fun
no, I
one, too.
love Halloween Town. I don't want to record anymore. I'm done. I've already done
Catch
one.
me when we do Under Wraps. I'll show up for that one.
It'll be
What
fun.
about Don't Look Under the Bed?
Ooh, I would do Don't Look Under the Bed as well. That's
So
People
many
under the
Dutch
stairs.
angles in that film.
well, yeah, it's because it's just trying to make you feel queasy and unsettled the whole time.
We need to do People Under the Stairs. I fucking love that movie.
Wow, it sounds like we got Cultobers for years to do.
Yeah, for real.
There's never ending content.
Too bad we all died tonight after recording.
I didn't know.
What?
Mm,
No one agreed to that.
that doesn't seem right.
Thanks for listening along, everyone. Follow us at Call Talk Net on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Where else are we? TikTok, I
Facebook.
guess.
we on
Facebook. Kinda. Tyler tries to post there. You know, Tyler.
Is TikTok still legal at this time? I don't know.
Oof, by the time listening, it's hard to tell because
We
they
don't
just
know.
got to go ahead to ban it if he fucking wants to, right?
Yeah,
Like that just happened.
Listen, I'm not saying that I support it, but I'm saying please do that.
It's like it's not fair, but please get.
Oh, I
like,
don't give a
just bring,
fuck about fair. Fuck that thing.
Bring back Vine, right? Ben loved Vine.
Vine's fine.
I like them. They're green. They go up trees. You can cut them open and drink water. They're fantastic. Love
We are
vines.
not on the same page.
I'll
So
teach
thanks
him.
thanks for following along this Cultober with us. I think I already told you where to follow. Keep listening. I don't know. Tell us that we suck. It's
God,
fine.
you
Give
are
us a
terrible.
5-star rating. Anywhere you are listening to us that has a 5-star rating option, please give us your rating. It really helps us. And also, it helps us pop up in future episodes for our algorithm if you haven't already hit the notification bell, which you should do right now.
Yep.
We see who's in front of the mic more often than me.
Yep. Hit the dinger and turn the notifications on to all instead of
The
personalized.
dinger.
The dinger.
I don't
It's
like
the
it.
little bell.
I don't like it called the dinger.
Why? What's wrong with your
You
dinger?
call it the dinger. It's drippy.
Well,
I've been Bailey.
I don't want to say I've been
Bailey
Michael
the
after
drippy
that.
dinger.
he's like, Michael's got a drippy dinger. I don't want to be Michael anymore.
Fine, I'm Bailey with the drippy dinger.
I'm Michael.
With the
Ben.
non-drippy dinger. Oh, versus
Oh
Ben.
yeah, yeah. How do you like it? How do you like it when you're interrupted?
Maybe we should try this again. Did we fail?
Yes,
We did.
Spectacular. This went up in flames.
All right, Ben, you go first. We'll try again.
I'm Ursa.
I'm Ben.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Michael.
Oh my god.
Happy Cultober, everyone.
Happy October! Bye.